What's going on, GZ Army? Mr. AGZ here, bringing you another Pokemon X and Y 6v6 tournament battle. This is round 3, the Average Joe versus DekuNite. Now, the Average Joe has gone against two tough opponents so far, Anushka and 8000 Epic Dude LOL. So, he's been having some tough battles, but he's been doing really well. Now, here joining us for this next person is the Average Joe. What's going on, man?
Not much. I'm very excited to be commentating on these battles, and these next set of battles are definitely intense. We have a lot of big threats here. We've got on his team Cloyster, who can just destroy in a 6v6 scenario. We've got Aegislash, who is extremely scary. Greninja, Venusaur, who is just a beastly tank. Gliscor, who can do some poison, toxic stalling, shenanigans, and of course, Talonflame, who can Brave Bird everything.
Wow.
So, pretty scary threats.
There we go. Now, Logan's a really good battler. He goes by Logan, who's DekuNite. But, yeah, I've gotten some battles with him, and oh man, he's won some, I've won some. It's always a 50-50 chance right there.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at his team also, you got to worry about that Gliscor. It may be a toxic stall one, you never know. And none of your pokes would be able to handle toxic except Klefki.
Yeah, the only other possible set that I've really seen on Gliscor is Baton Pass, which would be viable, and he definitely could Baton Pass, say, Home Claws to perhaps maybe either Talonflame or Aegislash, both of which I am probably the most scared of. I know I can take down the Cloyster if I'm able to get my rocks up, but I am terrified of that Aegislash.
Alright, well, here we go. You ready to go ahead and do this battle?
I am ready.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, play. Alright, so immediately, I'm assuming you're going to lead off with Fortress. Whether or not you do or not, we'll find out. I mean, that Brave Bird's going to be scary, that Talonflame.
Yeah, definitely. I do indeed lead with Fortress. And he's going to lead with Talonflame. Spitfire, which is a really cool name. Spitfire knows that he's going to be able to set up a little bit, so he's going to go for a Swords Dance. And I'm going to Stealth Rock, and I'm just like, well, I've got the red card, I'm okay, you can do whatever you want, man, go ahead. And then it uses Will-O-Wisp, and I'm like, oh man, no way. I was actually predicting him to attack, get the red card, and then I could switch into him, but that didn't work. So I'm actually going to bring him, I'm going to bring in Tiny Dancer and lure him to use a Flare Blitz or whatever. And I will, of course, switch back into Matumbo, expecting a Flare Blitz or a Brave Bird, and Brave Bird does indeed come. And it will activate Sturdy, thankfully. Right? Does it actually activate Sturdy? No, it doesn't. It brings me down to about 61. He's going to get a lot of recoil there. And what's awesome is that all that recoil that he just had is going to bite him in the butt later on. I'll just say that for now. Now, Treasure's coming in here, and thankfully the Focus Sash that it 9 out of 10 times has was broken. And I can take this Rock Blast because I'm max physically defensive. So thankfully I am able to take this, and I will come in here, I believe, with a Volt Switch. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see what I do. Oh, okay, so I go for an Earthquake. I probably should have gone for Volt Switch in retrospect, but I was probably just trying to get as much damage before I let my Matumbo die. Now he's going to go for a Shell Smash, and I'm not too worried about it, because I know that I have pokes that can take him out before he can do any damage, even if he uses a priority move. So I'm going to go for a Volt Switch real quick and see how much it does, and surprisingly, it does enough to kill him.
Wow, now had he ran that the first turn rather than Rock Blast, he might have still lived. Now another thing is, he probably should have ran High School Spear that first turn to get that stab damage and that's resistant.
Yeah. So now I'm bringing in Walmart the Klefki because I'm not entirely sure what he's going to do. But I'm going to go for a T-Wave, totally forgetting that it's part ground type, and I'm going to pay for it. I'm already making mistakes in this battle. I'm like, crap, I'm going to pay for it so hard here. Now, as you guys saw in the first battle with Anushka, Walmart can, really do some work, but there are also times where he just can't make it. And I was hoping that I could get that T-Wave off before that Toxic Orb kicked in, but of course, it is ground type, so my mistake. He put though. I am surprisingly going to live, but it's not going to matter too much because Gliscor does indeed outspeed me. So I say to myself, you know what, he's probably going to go for one more Earthquake, so I'm just going to switch out into Nemo because he is part Flying type and he'll be able to take this.
And now Nemo's one of those pokes that surprise people. A lot of people think that Nemo should be classified, or this is Gyarados. A lot of people think he should also have a Dragon typing with him. This would be one of those pokes where I would love to see a 3-type poke.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, honestly, it learns Dragon Dance. It looks like a dragon. Why isn't it a Dragon type, really?
And then, not only that, a lot of people also think Flying type should be thrown away because he's only had one flying attack that he could have used, and that was Bounce.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. It's kind of a funny typing form, honestly. I'm not sure how many Dragon-type moves he learns, but something that else is kind of weird about Gyarados is that he doesn't learn Crunch. He learns Bite, but not Crunch. Now, Sleep Powder... Oh, no, not Sleep Powder. At this point, I'm just like, oh, man, anything but Sleep Powder. Because I know I'm not going to get a one-turn Wake. I never get a one-turn Wake. So I think I make a mistake here. I do obviously stay asleep this turn. Energy Ball is going to come back and do a lot of damage, and I'm kind of worried at this point. I can only take one more hit, so I say to myself, you know what? I'm just going to switch out this Gyarados here and bring in Matumbo and get a clean switch in to somebody else that can take him. And, of course, you know that Mega Venusaur gets Stick Fat, which reduces the damage taken by Fire and Ice-type moves, I believe. But there's nothing said in that ability about flying type moves. So I send in Brave Bird. I send in Vulcan and use Brave Bird. I send in Brave Bird. That's actually a really cool nickname.
Oh man, that may be a new name I use. And now he sends out his own. But those rocks.
And take a look at this. Now watch what I do, because I know whatever he's gonna attack and he's gonna get recoil damage, so I just send in Walmart, who's gonna die anyway. So I let Walmart take the fall here. However, it's perfectly fine because I didn't want to risk losing the speed tie. So I figured that would probably be my best choice.
Well, another thing is that allows for you to save your Bird Jesus.
Exactly. Yeah. Honestly, it probably would have. I wouldn't have died to make any recoil damage, but I didn't want to lose that speed tie. That was my biggest fear.
Okay. So now we've got this Gliscor in here, and you went for another attack that you shouldn't have.
Yeah. Toxic here is gonna obviously do a little bit of damage every turn, but I think I go for Sleep Powder, right? I probably go for Sleep Powder. That's what I do in retrospect. No, I do Quiver Dance. I do Quiver Dance because I know it's going to protect this turn.
Yeah, not only that, you can't, if you run Sleep Powder, it's not going to put him to sleep because of that poison.
That's true. Did I use Sleep Powder? Maybe I don't remember if I was stupid enough to. I'll find out. I'll let you know.
You'll find
Honestly,
out.
though, at this point, I don't really have to because I know Giga Drain can do enough to take it out since it's ground type. So I am going to go for a Giga Drain and break this substitute, or... Did it just do damage, or am I crazy? I swore I saw it do damage. It must be crazy.
Anyways, you go ahead and drain energy from that sub, and he's gonna go ahead and run Earthquake on you.
Yeah. Earthquake I can take pretty well, though. Sorry about that. I swore I saw the health go down. I was like, whoa. But yeah, Earthquake not gonna do too much since I am Grass type. And now he's here, and I'm gonna be able to outspeed him, get this Giga Drain, and say, you know what? No, forget you, poison damage. I'm gonna get full health.
There we go. And he can't run Substitute because you've taken away all his HP.
I've taken away all of his fun. So I go for one more Giga Drain here, and that is gonna be able to take out. Oh yeah, Protect, Toxic Stall, but besides that, Giga Drain, of course.
Now at this point, it's looking like he's kind of getting trapped in the corner here with DekuNite.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh wow, I forgot that he switched out this Gliscor. What does he bring in? Oh no. Oh no. Aegis Slash. Now Aegis Slash is scary as heck because you never know what he's gonna run. Now I predicted him to use King Shield this turn to get some Toxic Stall damage going. So, figuring that he was going to use King Shield, I'll actually run here in just a second a sleep powder, but I can't remember whether or not it lands. Thank God I live there, because that would have been terrible if I didn't.
Oh yeah. And now the sleep powder is absolutely going to wreck the Aegis Slasher's usefulness, but it misses and allows for him to recover some more health.
Yeah, I was very disappointed about the fact that it missed, because had it not, then things would have been a little bit different. So now at this point, I'm trying to remember who I bring in. I bring in Talonflame, which probably would be my best bet. Now I know I've got to be careful, but I'm gonna go for a Flare Blitz just to get as much damage off as I can, and thankfully it brings it down to about maybe 10% health. Now I know that he's coming. Well, I thought he was coming in with a Shadow Snake, but it looks like that is not the case. He's actually going to use Swords Dance, which, of course, is scary. And now he can Shadow Sneak me, but I outspeed him anyway. So at this point, I'm pretty okay. I figure he's going to go for King Shield, so I go for a Roost, just to be on the safe side. And as you can see, though, he does go for the Shadow Snake, which is pretty bad for me. I can't remember whether or not I live it, although I seem to recall not being able to. Let's find out. Oh, I do live it. Wow, that's very surprising. Huh.
So he gets a little bit of recovery. I'm wondering if he's going to go ahead and run King Shield now, but it doesn't matter because you got this Brave Bird coming in.
Brave Bird everything. And there goes Zelda.
Oh yeah, that gives him very bad defenses after he switches to offensive mode.
Now, thankfully, I do have 25 health left with this Talonflame, so I will be able to do just a little more damage. And I don't think this isn't to kill him, actually. Or not
Hey,
to
I
kill
can barely
me,
hear you now. Did your mic go away?
Can you hear me?
Barely.
That's, I guess I'll talk louder? I don't know.
Anyways, here comes Kermit the Greninja.
And, of course, thanks to the stones here, Brave Bird is going to be enough to finish off this Greninja.
There we go. So Kermit goes down and, well, even though your guy faints, that's enough to finish this battle off.
Yeah, so Talonflame has really been putting in a lot of work for me in this competition, so I'm very thankful to have one.
Well, there we go. Well, that was battle number 1. Now, here comes battle number 2. The question everybody needs to ask is, does he come back and force a battle 3, or are we going to have a 2-game battle? I think you've won your first 2 matches 2-0 so far, right?
That would be correct.
Oh, man. You're either getting good draws or your team matches up really well with who you've been up against, because I'm pretty sure, because we have absolutely awesome people in this tournament.
Yeah, we do, and this battle it's interesting. That's all I'll say.
Alright, so the second battle here, is it going to be Joe's first loss of the tournament? You'll just have to wait and see. You ready, man?
Whenever you are.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
Alright, and I'm actually going to go ahead and let you start this off. I've got to take a second to do something real quick, so hang on just a second.
Go ahead. Logan starts with issuing the challenge off, and Matumbo comes on. So Matumbo comes on, and we've got Spitfire here. Spitfire's going to go ahead and use Swords Dance, like last time. Now, I'm wondering if he remembers the fact. Now, he didn't get to worry about the, he didn't have to worry about the, what do we call it, the sturdy last time, because he wasn't strong enough.
Looks like I hit the wrong button. I meant to hit mute, not end call.
It's okay. Anyways, we've got a Volt Switch coming in. That's going to do quite a bit of damage here to Spitfire, but since he's not a special attacking guy, it doesn't do it enough. Hey, what's up? I hear you still. Anyways, Tiny Dancer comes in, and he's going to go ahead and switch right back out, trying to see if we can force that Talonflame to attack again. Talonflame gets that Swords Dance off again, because you got to remember, this Ferrothorn, this Fortress actually happens to have his red card. So he's going to hit this Fortress, but the Fortress has Sturdy in. Man, that Sturdy Fortress is a good one, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard the Skype incoming call sound, but I accidentally hit end call instead of mute. But yeah, definitely, I really love Sturdy and red card on Matumbo.
Oh man, so you ran Rapid Spin. Not sure why, but you did.
Yeah, I don't know why I did, to tell you the truth. I actually was more pre-concerned with getting back the call. I actually kind of missed what happened these first couple turns, but Earthquake on Aegislash. I got to get as much damage on this thing as I can. Now, as you saw there, it got a Swords Dance up, so I'm like, oh no, don't you do it. And he's going to go for another Swords Dance, knowing that I'm not going to be able to damage him too much here with this Earthquake. So I'm like, oh no, this is going to be an Aegislash sweep. I'm very scared at this point.
Oh man, he's still getting those lefties. So now we've got an Aegislash that is +4 if you include the if you include the fact that it sharply raises.
Yeah, and King Shield, of course, I'm going to fall for that like a sucker. I'm going to, unfortunately, well, actually, no, it doesn't lower my attack because I didn't make contact, but it's not going to work regardless. And
+6 Aegis
plus
Slash.
6. Plus 6 Aegislash. And if that doesn't just scream sweep to you, I don't know what does.
So we're getting ready for this very short battle because Aegislash is gonna sweep this team. He changes up right now, and here comes that Shadow Sneak ready to take out Matumbo. And Matumbo goes down. 1 poke down.
Let's just say that I have post-traumatic stress disorder from this Aegislash. That's really all there is to say about it. So,
Oh man, +6. Oh man, but now you're bringing in Walmart here, which is awesome.
yeah, I figured that my best bet at this point would be to go for a T-Wave, even though I know that Walmart is probably going to get sacked here by this Shadow Sneak. I wanted to at least paralyze it this way. I could perhaps outspeed it as far as priority goes. So, obviously, he's going to get a little bit of Lefty's recovery, and I am going to somehow survive, amazingly. But he's going to go for King Shield this turn, and really that's fine. There's nothing that I can do in particular. I am actually going to use Draining Kiss, just trying to get as much damage off on this thing as I can, but obviously it's not going to work very well. So I just go for one more Draining Kiss. It's going to do a little bit of damage. Surprisingly, he didn't use Shadow Sneak, which I think he should have, but it doesn't honestly matter that much because Draining Kiss does so little to this thing that it really doesn't matter. Thankfully, he does get paralyzed here,
Oh no.
so I will be able to get one more Draining Kiss off. Actually, is that the case? No, because I switch out. I switch out. I kind of had a hunch. I figured he was going to go for a King Shield this turn, and unfortunately, no, that's not the case. So, Vulcan, that has been just sweeping this entire tournament, gone.
Oh man. What is that? 2 pokes down? Man.
Yeah, and Klefki is basically kind of just useless at this point. Look how much health he has, too. What am I going to do?
Not much you can do at this point.
Yeah, so he's going to go for King Shield, and predicting that, I actually go ahead and go for a Dragon Dance, which is going to prove to be very helpful.
There we go. So you get this Dragon Dance off now. In case you all forgot, this guy is also part dark. And here comes the knockoff, which is going to be super effective against him.
And at this point, I am just like taking the biggest breath of relief. I don't even care if I lose the battle because I took out that Aegislash. I was like, yes! But he sends in Fertilizer, and I'm like, well, great. Nothing I can do against this guy, huh?
Well, here comes the Mega Fertilizer too, so wow, get that thick fat going. The good thing for you though is Fertilizer is mostly specially defensive, not so much physically, although he's bulky.
Yeah, and luckily for me, I managed to avoid that sleep powder, that god-awful sleep powder, and I'm able to finish him, thank goodness.
So Comeback coming in. Spitfire comes back, but you have those Stealth Rocks, so Spitfire comes in, and Spitfire
And he goes out, yeah. Thank goodness.
Wow. So Batman comes in. Now, since he's part rock, or is he rock
Ground.
or ground? Ground,
Ground,
it's not
yeah.
going to hurt him as much.
Yeah, and at this point, knowing that it is ground type, I'm 90% certain that water does hurt ground type. I think. Let's find out. Yeah, it does. So I'm just going for as many priority moves as I can. I figure that Gliscor might outspeed me. I'm actually not too sure, but regardless, I wanted to just keep spamming those priority moves. I actually decided to go for Crab Hammer. I guess I figured out that I actually was indeed faster. So now Treasure comes in, and you go ahead and talk. It's your Pokemon.
Oh man, yeah, it's my poke. It's my little shelter that's evolved. He's gonna go ahead and run an Ice Shard just to try to get a little bit of damage off, but it's not very effective because Claudia here is part water. Now, since you miss, he's gonna go ahead and get another Ice Shard in just to get a little more damage. Trying to get an attack before you. Here comes Crab Hammer though. Nearly takes him out. Now, whenever you don't use Shell Smash, Cloyster actually has really good physical defenses. A lot of people don't realize that. That's why Treasure was able to take so many hits here. So it makes me very curious why he didn't run a stab Ice School Spear or maybe a Rock Blast. But
Also, kind of curious, it was holding a King's Rock. I don't know if you caught that. It wasn't a Focus Sash, so very interesting. King's Rock, does that have any in-battle abilities?
oh yeah, it really. Basically, what happens is with King's Rock, any attack that does not have a chance to cause you to flinch now gains the chance to cause an opponent to flinch. And since he's got Skill Link on, that's 5 chances to cause you to flinch whenever he runs Ice School Spear or Rock Blast.
Oh man, that makes me sick to my stomach. Oh.
It's an interesting
Man.
set and an interesting item to have on him. The thing you gotta balance out is, do you want to run Shell Smash or not? And you gotta make
Yeah,
sure
because
when you go,
with Shell Smash, you really need that attack boost. But other than that, after that, Cloyster is pretty fragile.
oh
So
yeah, you gotta make sure that you come in on a physical guy that does not have a fighting attack, or else you're kind of in trouble.
yeah.
All right.
So Ice Beam is going to come over here on Walmart, and thankfully it doesn't do enough damage to really hurt me. I'm just going to keep going for these Draining Kisses. I know that it's paralyzed, and thankfully this is the last poke here. So he's going to go for one more Ice Beam. I'm surprised that it doesn't have Hidden Power Fire, but I'm definitely glad that it doesn't have Hidden Power Fire. And I'm going to go for one more Draining Kiss, and that is going to be enough to finish off this very scary, intense battle. It took about maybe 25 minutes when we actually did it, so it was kind of one of those ones where I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Wow. So great battle here with Logan and Joe here, guys. Or DekuNite, in case y'all didn't know, that's Logan. Yeah, moving on to round 4. How do you feel about that?
I am both excited and nervous. I don't want to, I don't want to count any of my other opponents out. I'm very happy with my team, and it's been doing a lot of good work. But I know that there's going to be a lot of great battle wars in these in these later rounds. So I'm very excited and I'm very nervous.
All right, man. Well, hey, thank you for joining us here today, Joe. If y'all think Joe had the best battle so far in the tournament, you guys should definitely throw likes here and say that in the comment section. What do you think, man?
Yeah, definitely. Let's try to get this video to, what do you think? Maybe 40 likes?
Oh, man. Let's make it 50, man.
Let's make it, yeah, go big or go home. 50 likes, guys. We can do it.
Oh, yeah. Make it happen, Jeezy Army. All right. Well, thank you, Joe, for joining us today, man. I appreciate it.
You are very welcome. Looking forward to coming in on the next set of battles and commentating on those.
All right, then. Well, Jeezy Army, it's another day done. Make sure y'all catch them all. Later.